Dear philosophical friends are here, students are here. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you and to talk about B.R. Kulkarni and his association with his teacher, Gurudev. I should tell you incidentally that B.R. Kulkarni was born in 1925 and this is 2025. Yes, we are also celebrating his centenary year. And this is the 141st anniversary of Gurudev. My topic, I am told that sessions should be held quicker and I am cutting short my lecture. The title of my paper is Shri Gurudev R.D. Ranade and Shri B.R. Kulkarni Guru Shishya Samagama. Guru Shishya Samagama. Bhimsen Ramachandra Kulkarni, that is B.R. Kulkarni, born in 1925, comes from a village Hiremagi in Hungun Taluk of undivided Bagalkot district. He was the son of a school teacher in Bijapur. He came from a large but humble family. He passed his matriculation in 1944, facing poor economic conditions. He went to Nimbal. Nimbal is a place where Gurudev Samadhi is there. He went to Nimbal near Bijapur in June 1944 and met Sri Gurudev Ranade. He knew that Gurudev Ranade, who was interested in matters spiritual, Paramartha, was taking poor deserving students to his Allahabad house for further studies in Allahabad University, where he was a professor. Kulkarni visited him at Nimbal and was given an academic test. First, Gurudev asked him to write a few words in English, a few sentences in English, a few sentences in Sanskrit, and of course, a few sentences in Cantonese, Kannada. So, BRK passed the test and Gurudev took him to Allahabad and arranged his stay at Professor's bungalow. Kulkarni was in Allahabad for more than 12 years. Our Allahabad friends are here. He was there for 12 years. He did his MA in philosophy in 1951. It was a Guru Shishya Samagama. Kulkarni had intense interest in Paramartha and did his practice. After MA, he got a lecturer's job here in Belagavi, Rani Parvati Devi College, RPD College. He was here for 6 years and worked there as professor. Later, he worked as principal in a college, Yavatmal College, AC College, Amol Chand College. From 1958 to 65, he was there. During 65 to 68, he worked as professor of philosophy in Somaya College, Mumbai. From 1968 to 73, he was with Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan as its director. At the instance of K. Munshi, the founder of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. From 73 to 82, he worked as this is a very important position, worked as a deputy foreign language advisor to the Home Minister and worked as a director of research and analysis wing, RAW. That wing is there in the central government. Research, he worked as a deputy director Yes, he worked as Deputy Director, Foreign Language Advisor and also Foreign Language Advisor to the Home Minister, and worked as the Director of RAW, Research and Analysis Wing of the Central Secretariat. His honesty and devotion took him to that level. From there, he retired in 1982. He finally became the advisor to the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan again. Subsequently, he retired from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan also and went to live in Solapur. Solapur is there, here, about 150 kilometers from Belagavi. Yes, after his retirement, Kulkarni used all his time and energy for reading, writing and research on the works of Gurudev. He was impressed by the teachings of Nimbargi Maharaj. There was a saint, and wrote a book on it. He made a video cassette on Maharaj and renovated the place, spending lakhs. He restarted Sadhana Saptaha. This in brief is the life and service particulars of Professor B.R. Kulkarni. He has been lovingly called B.R. Mama, B.R. Kaka by his friends, by his students. B.R. Kaka, B.R. Mama. Now, I will give a contrast. I will now talk on R.D. Ranade, Gurudev Ranade, because first I gave you a picture of Kulkarni, Bhimsen Ramachandra Kulkarni, B.R. Kulkarni. Now, I will give you a brief outline of Gurudev Ranade. Professor Ramachandra Dattatreya Ranade, that is his full name, Ramachandra Dattatreya Ranade, R.D. Ranade, 1886 to 1957. He lived only for 71 years. He has been lovingly called by his students, disciples and followers as Gurudev. He is famous as Gurudev by this nomenclature. He devoted his entire life to religion, philosophy, mysticism and the science of yoga. His approach to religion and philosophy has been comparative and critical. This institute, which is conducting this seminar, is called ACPR, as you know, Academy of Comparative Philosophy. He was very much interested in comparative philosophy and religion. And some of the facts you may not be knowing about Ranade. I will just give a very brief account. He had a brilliant academic career in Bombay University, R.D. Ranade. He was a student of the Deccan College here. In Pune, there is one famous Deccan College. He was popularly called as Ram Bhav. He was Professor N.G. Damblay's uncle. There was another professor, N.G. Damblay. You might have seen or read his books. Ranade was his uncle. Gurudev accepted first the post of lecturer in Sanskrit, in charge of manuscript library in Deccan College. He later became a life member of Deccan Education Society. Yesterday this was referred. Gurudev was professor of philosophy in Ferguson College. Yesterday Radhika read a paper. She is from Ferguson College. For about 10 to 12 years, he was an authority on Greek philosophy. He knew Greek language and went to the originals every time. His principal, William Bain, retired, and after retirement he went back to Europe, leaving all his books to college library, but took back Gurudev's books with him on Greek philosophy. So he was very much impressed. The principal was very much impressed by the works of Ranade, especially on Greek philosophy. And he was a Dakshina fellow, R.D. Ranade, in the same college. He had, but see, his companion, I should say, was prolonged illness. He was a valetudinarian. He was unwell for so many years, almost every day. He decided to practice, in spite of that, in spite of his prolonged illness, he decided to practice intensive sadhana with devotion to his spiritual teacher, Sadguru Bahu Sahib Maharaj. That was his spiritual teacher, and he initiated Professor Gurudev to spirituality. He became a person of learning and deep scholarship. Yes, he wrote many important articles, critical reviews to various journals and journals of national and international repute. Sri Aurobindo regarded Gurudev's articles on Greek philosophy as a priceless gain. Yes, in 1915, how our Ranade went to Allahabad. I will just tell them. I will just tell you within 5 minutes, and how he became famous. In 1915, Gurudev delivered a series of lectures on the Upanishads at Sanskrit Academy, Bangalore. That was his first lecture. Sheshagiri Rao Gaikwad of Baroda was the patron of this academy, and he presided over the lecture. These lectures later on were developed and became Gurudev's monumental works. This book, the lecture he gave at Bangalore, entitled A Constructive Survey of the Upanishadic Philosophy. This book brought reputation all over India and abroad. Later, it caught the attention of Professor Ganganatha Jha, the Vice Chancellor of Allahabad University. He was very much impressed by this book. The result was, Gurudev was appointed as Professor of Philosophy in 1927 in Allahabad University. He went all the way from Pune to Allahabad to preside over the fortunes of the department. He was head of the Department of Philosophy, Dean of Arts Faculty, and also acting Vice Chancellor. So he retired as acting Vice Chancellor. So, he delivered lectures on Vedanta, the Culmination of Indian Thought. It is another great book. In March 29 at Calcutta University, Basu Malik lectures. These lectures became a classic. After its publication, here we find Gurudev's emphatic tone of spirituality. It gives an outline of spirit studied with a new point of view. Gurudev took time to finalize it, as it was subtle, though he had a philosophic bent of mind right from his student days. Being a Vedantic work, he did not take it lightly, and he wanted to live in it in truth. This, yes, the last work completed by Gurudev was Bhagavad Gita as a philosophy of God realization. This is an expansion of a series of lectures delivered in 1928 by Gurudev under the auspices of Nagpur University for the Rao Bahadur, Babu Rao, Dada, Kinkhede lecturership endowment. The 3 lectures were later extended 8 at Allahabad and Delhi. A portion of the last was delivered at Rashtrapati Bhavan. So his lecture was delivered at Rashtrapati Bhavan, lecture on Gita, in April 54, under the presidency of late Dr. Rajendra Prasad. In 1959, Nagpur University published all the lectures in a single book. This book has been well received like his other works and acclaimed as a valuable contribution to the understanding of the Gita. It is a religio-philosophic classic. It is interesting as it lays bare the modern interpretations of the Gita. So Ranade was a mystical philosopher, all that we know. I will now concentrate, little more on Kulkarni. Kulkarni, B.R. Kulkarni, was the most intimate and most interested, trusted disciple of Gurudev. As per the blessings of Gurudev, Kulkarni attended the World Conference on Religion and Peace held in Kyoto, Japan in 1970. There he put his ideas on religion. Some of the books of Gurudev Ranade came to light only after Professor Kulkarni worked on them. One such work was Gurudev's Studies in Indian Philosophy. Gurudev was a PhD examiner for many universities. Our fortune, he was a PhD examiner of Mysore University also. He came to Mysore University, to our department, along with his wife, and conducted PhD Viva on a thesis, Shatsthala Siddhanta and Patanjala Yoga. He was well versed in all branches of knowledge. So it is my fortune that I met the divine couple, both Professor B.R. Kulkarni and Padma Tai Kulkarni. Yes. What happened? We know that the works of Professor Ranade, for example, Vedanta, the culmination of Indian thought, or constructive survey of the Upanishads. You see, these books were not fully completed by Ranade because he had his untimely death. So he entrusted this work of completing constructive survey of Upanishads, Vedanta, the culmination of Indian thought, Pathway to God in Kannada literature. This was also incomplete. They were incomplete and they were made complete by Professor B.R. Kulkarni with the assistance of his colleagues Gajendra Gadkar, Krishna Rao Gajendra Gadkar, Vinayak H. Date and others. So, our Ranade Saab had left notes, and on the basis of notes, Professor B.R. Kulkarni, Gajendra Gadkar, V.H. Date and others completed these works, and Professor Kulkarni held his role, active role in the publication of the complete version of these books. And in addition to these books, Professor Ranade, Professor B.R. Kulkarni has written his own independent books, and our organizer is telling me with his eyes that I should close because yes. So I would like to close this special lecture by referring to the better half of B.R. Kulkarni, Srimati Professor Padma Tai Kulkarni. She was an eminent Marathi and English speaker and writer. She came from Satara was the daughter of a religious soul, Magadarika, who was fond of Sri Guru Charita. Like her husband, she was simplicity personified with scholarly spectacles. Hers, like Gurudev and Kulkarni, was an area of comparative philosophy. After marriage, she quickly became part of Nimbald's Parivar. The divine presence of Gurudev made both Padma Kulkarni and B.R. Kulkarni to absorb the spiritual, mystical and intellectual aspects of Nimbargi Paramaguru's Sampradaya. I think I should stop here. Respectful salutations to Gurudev.